Kitchener Centre.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Since September, I have asked every minister responsible for anti-racism for a briefing. These requests have gone unanswered. In pursuit of answers, I was told to be patient and to wait for the estimates, which I was assured would show the government's plan for anti-racism work. While the Anti-Racism Directorate was listed in the estimates, I was disturbed to see that there was only $1,000 dedicated to, quote, anti-racism initiatives. Wow. Mr. Speaker, can the Premier please explain to the people of Ontario what kind of work $1,000 can do to combat racism, which is, sadly, on the rise in the province?
Wow. Question is to the Premier.
Solicitor General.
Referred to the Solicitor General.
Thank you, Speaker. You know, the member opposite is using numbers that, frankly, have no basis in fact. We have relied on the Anti-Racism Directorate to drive our legislative agenda. The OPS employees that work in this directorate do excellent work, and we use that when we are doing things like updating the Comprehensive Ontario Police Services Act. When we look at policy changes, we make sure that there is their voice and their impact is very important to us. Now, there is no doubt that anti-racism in all its forms is completely unacceptable to our government, and we will continue to work with our partners to make sure that we drive decisions based on that input. Thank you.
Supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again to the Premier. The story that these estimates tell us is that the Conservatives are just not interested in doing racial justice work. They're unwilling to take concrete steps towards racial equity. There's money allocated to staff and advertising, but no money to do the actual anti-racism work. No money to invest in the organizations and programs which are making progress on these issues, and no money to resource the Black, Indigenous, Jewish and Muslim anti-racism subcommittees that this government quietly disbanded despite hate crimes being on the rise. Does the Premier believe that we can solve racism with $1,000?
Questions been referred to the Solicitor General.
Thank you, Speaker. You know, again, I will reinforce that there is no room in a Ford government that would in any way allow anti-racism to continue in the province of Ontario. We are actively engaged in working with the Directorate. We will continue that work. But let's be clear. We are asking everyone across Ontario to play a small part in ensuring that we bring Ontario's fiscal health back to order. In a small way, we will ask all organizations and agencies that are transfer partners that are part of our ability to ensure that Ontario's fiscal health returns to balance, because at the end of the day, we have to make sure as a government, as citizens, that we protect what matters most. We will do that. We will do that with the excellent partners that we have, and we will make sure that we are bringing forward policies and ideas that actually...
Thank you.